Have you done a video? Yeah, happen. Hello, very nice to meet you. Hello. Have you done something?
We stayed for one call, the one you guys did a job with.
Which is your
The fourth. Wow. Is this one of the hottest ones you've been in?
Yeah.
This is not running around playing. Football fan.
enjoyed this tournament? And the discipline, going through all of that as well. Hello, very nice to meet you. What's your name? Hi, very nice. This is Awan. You're going to, are you doing the final today? Good. Good on you. Very nice to meet you. Hello, very nice to meet you. What's your name? Hi, Leo. This is George. George, this is Leo. Charlotte, Leo. Have you been on call already? It's fantastic. I'm so glad you find joy in the game. It's great. Keep it up. Nice to meet you. Hello.
How are you?
Very nice to see you.
Hi everyone. So, are William and Kate asking too much of their children, or is it just bad parenting? Because, guys, okay, let's go. Okay, so for a family that has spent years trying to balance royal duty with the promise of normality, the latest Wimbledon controversy raises an uncomfortable question. Are Prince George and Prince Charlotte being placed in situations they are simply not ready for, or is it just bad parenting? Is it that William and Kate are failing as parents? Is it that William and Kate have raised their children in a sacred place that they are only used to some kind of environment to the rich people, and they do not associate with the less privileged people or the people of color? Because, yo, guys, did you just see how Prince George wiped off his hands on his clothes after greeting a handshaking that less privileged guy? Did you guys see how he was so, how he put his face, how he folded his face, for lack of a better word, after saying hi to the man of color, how he hesitated to even say hi to these people, how he turned his head, he shrugged, he did not, he was so uninterested, honestly. And I keep on wondering, I beg the question, is this just bad parenting, or are these people not being led to be just children? And should the parents just let, I mean, I feel like the parents should just let George and Charlotte just be children, just be out there and play with their mates, just be out there and attend school trips and attend college trips and attend, nothing of the big people stuff. Because if this is how they are always going to behave, then it has a very bad picture with how, I mean, look at the video. Just watch and see how George is so disgusted. How Charlotte and George are so disinterested. They really do not want to be there. They are not, guys. So, a few seconds of footage from Wimbledon have once again ignited fierce debate online. Critics argue that the Wales children appeared very uncomfortable, which is true. They were disengaged and very reluctant during the public interactions. Supporters counter that they are simply children being scrutinized by millions of strangers who expect flawless behavior every time they step into public view. But again, is this how they are supposed to behave publicly? Is this how they relate with people? Is this how they are taught to relate with people? Because them being children does not justify what they did. It does not justify how they treated that less privileged child. And what is harder to dismiss is the growing pattern of these debates. Because every time George and Charlotte appear at major public events, discussions quickly shift from the event itself to their body language, to their facial expressions, and to the interactions with members of the public. These children do not know how to interact with children, with other people, to interact publicly. They should be left. I mean, that should concern William and Kate. William and Kate should be so concerned about their children's behaviors. They should actually sit down and listen to the critics just for this time because they are painted as bad parents, and I totally agree. I mean, whether this criticism is fair or not, which again, I am not going after the children. I do not want to put these less privileged people into the limelight. But again, guys, the perception really matters. The Prince and the Princess of Wales are not merely parents. They are raising future senior royals, in quotes, whose public role depends heavily on connecting with people from all walks of life. And if large numbers of viewers are repeatedly walking away questioning the children's comfort levels during public engagements, then the royal household has a communications problem. The royal household has a question to ask. They should be concerned, honestly. William and Kate should not brush this off because this is major. I mean, just look at how they interact with these people, guys. The issue the issue is not even whether George and Charlotte, if they smiled enough or anything. Children should not be expected to perform for the cameras. They are not taught that, which is fine. But the issue is whether they are being exposed to public duties before they are genuinely ready for them. And the other issue is, are they being parented properly? Are they being raised right? Because I really doubt. William and Kate have often been praised for protecting their children's privacy, yet every major appearance places these children under an intense microscope. Every glance, every gesture, and facial expressions become global news within minutes, and that is an extraordinary burden for children who never chose public life, guys. I really did not want to talk deeply about this, but again, it's really so annoying to see how these children are relating publicly. How these children, I mean, did you see their facial expressions, guys? I am so concerned. I mean, where would you publicly show? I mean, I understand these are children, but they have not been taught right. If the goal is to prepare these children for future royal responsibilities, then preparations must go beyond attending events. It requires helping them develop confidence in public interactions, empathy across different communities, and the ability to engage naturally with people they meet. They should not be racist because, according to me, guys, according to me, in this video, George is racist. Honestly, he was not relating. Like, what am I doing here? Who is this? And he kind of had these facial expressions. The harsh reality is that the internet does not grade royal children on a curve. No. Fairly or unfairly, people compare them to previous generations of royals and other young royals across Europe. They compare warmth, confidence, and ease in public settings. They are going to be compared by other children. So why don't you just leave them at home, Kate? Why don't you just leave them at home? Why don't you just let them be children? I mean, people keep criticizing Meghan for hiding her kids, for not hiding really, but protecting her kids, making them private, letting them just be kids, going to Disneyland, going to, I mean, playing in the sea, playing in the ocean. These children are not exposed to such, interactions. And that is totally fine because they are being let to grow. They are being taught well. They are being taught right. You have seen a number of times what is her name, Archie, Carrie's daughter, being there and putting out acts of service. She will be there tying Megan's shoes. She will be there saying thank you in tiny, tiny videos. And that is how we expect children to be taught. That is how we expect children to relate with other people. William and Kate have spent years building an image of a modern royal family, and if they want that image to endure, then they must ensure that their children are not simply present at public engagements, but they also need to ensure that they are also comfortable enough to participate in those engagements. Otherwise, every awkward moment will continue to become another viral controversy. People are always going to talk about it, you know. People are always going to criticize it, and we are always going to see what is actually there, guys. I mean, this is not even like we are not even throwing in a show. Like, this is what is there. And the bigger question is not whether George and Charlotte deserve criticism. No, they are children and they deserve grace, to be honest. But the real question is whether the adults responsible for managing their public exposure are getting the balance right. Are they really managing their children right? Are they raising their children correctly? That is a question that that William and Kate actually need to sit down and think about. That is a question that debate is really getting louder. And I'm just going to share a few of the things that people actually had to say in this interaction. So you can actually see that we are not being unfair. Everyone in the internet saw this interaction. So 300 Books says George and Charlotte's attitude towards the handicapped and minorities with their ages. They are clearly expressing their disgust for people they deem beneath them because that is how they were brought up. It is a disgraceful reflection on how the royals and their views on non-royals. Again, it has nothing to do with their ages. Other young people will never act like that. That is true. That is People are taught better, and that is, I mean, they need to teach their children better. uh Someone else says, Adam says, bold of you to expect kids whose 45-year-old mom can barely string two coherent sentences together to be able to make conversation. Who are they gonna learn from? Dad, who cannot say a sentence without making it all about him? Otherwise, he is throwing a tantrum. Oh, I don't want you to add anything on top of that. Frank says neither George or Charlotte want to be there, and they all look annoyed by having to shake hands with everyone they have to meet. Such an embarrassment to the entire corrupt royal family. Indeed. Well, indeed. Michelle says, did he wipe his hands on his pants after shaking his hands? Oh yes, Michelle, he did. He wiped his hands. We saw that, guys. We saw that. PLC says not the first time certain children have banned side eyeing the elderly and disabled. I mean, they're children, but again, they need to be taught better. That is what we say. Catwoman says he even wipes his hands down his trousers after he touches the boy's hand. That's nasty behavior. There's no warmth or engagement in these children. You need to do better, Kate. Oh, yes, Kate, you need to do better. You know, Viola says, kid, anyone see how that girl at the little boy from top to bottom in disguise? I don't think she understands that they are the fraud benefits. Okay, guys, you know, i- it's true though. It is true. They are actually the ones benefiting from taxpayers' money. So again, George does not want to shake the black man's hands at all. That is true. And I don't know why these people are so racist. I don't know. Um, Viola again says the boy rubbed his hands on his trousers after shaking hands. God help us, indeed. I don't know the kind of people we are raising right now. So, investigator says this is William's fault. They have not been made to practice interacting with normies in public on a regular basis like his mother made sure he and Harry did. Compare them to Crown Princess Victoria's children who are roughly the same age and can effortlessly work a room. I mean, bad parenting. This is literally just bad parenting. William and Kate, you need to teach your children better. These children need to know better. Wendy Lowman says George and Charlotte have not learned empathy and humility in a year. William and Kate are not teaching their children any social skills, sadly. William and Kate are too busy chasing optics only to backfire again with their children being indifferent to the child. Good grief indeed. I mean, it's so sad that it was another, like, a less fortunate children. Like, this child was handicapped. He is less fortunate, and he like these children were so disgusted to say hi. Guys, Zinnia says having nasty, privileged, elitist, pampered temper tantrum, throwing lazy, jealous, crazy parents who lie, bully, and deceive the public. This is still shocking. They use the kids for PR and but cannot control their awful spoiled behavior. Meghan and Harry's kids will be so natural, hugging and being friends with all of them, and that is true. We have seen that before. We have seen that before. And guys, again, we have seen Harry and Meghan's children just being so kind and saying the thank you words, and they are actually way quite younger than William and Kate's children. And William and Kate need to do some benchmarking, honestly. So, um, another one says another year watching George and Charlotte looking repulsed around special needs children. I'm sorry, but this has got to stop. They have no interest. Look at their faces. They never even try talking to the kids. I will bring them to Invictus and make them work the games. Okay, that is called strict parenting. Okay. So one last one says, Nina says, people who say let them be kids should see how William grew up to be a bully. We have seen how William behaved when he was a kid, bullying his own mother and father, even little brother playfully, as can be described as a child, which at times is not really. But look at him now. We hear from the royal reporters themselves that he is got a short temper, like his father, who has no shame to show it publicly. We see how cold he can be in his interactions with people, and if we can see him act like his brother, it's all for sure because we are smart enough to see what's genuine and what is not. We even read an article. What if William committed a serious crime? How the hell would that even be written? Well, it's a penny for thought, right? Oh, yes, it is. Food for thought. Really, guys, food for thought. I mean, are these people really just bad parenting, or is it the kids? Is it Please tell me down below the comment section, and I will see you guys in my next report. Please like, share, comment down below. Tell me if you enjoyed this. Tell me what to talk about next, guys, and I will see you guys in my next. Bye.